We are going out buffalo hunting now. I want to get a baby buffalo for collecting materials, because buffalo are the greatest of all the animals as far as cargo hauling goes. So we're out looking for buffalo. Alright, we found our buffalo. So what we need to do is clear the area of hostiles. That thing right there. He can go. And then we need to try and one-shot this buffalo mama if we can. Might not be so easy. Or maybe it will be. And then we need to tell this baby to follow us. Alright, let's get back to our bird. And we need to lead this thing home. Back to the taming pen. So we're gonna walk slowly. Take our time. Alright, so we made it back to camp. As you can see, I've pushed the walls out a bit here. Wanted more room in the yard, so I made more walls. I came out and I increased our space out here. So we've got a lot more room out here now in the yard. And there he goes to the food trough. I know you hungry, buddy. Come on. Bring the baby buffalo this way. Come on, baby buffalo. Get up here. And we'll put this guy right here. We're gonna have to move the food troughs out a little bit. He's slowly making his way. Trying to, anyways. There we go. Come on. There you go. Alright, turn off follow. He'll head over to the thing over here and sleep. And then he'll head over to the trough to eat when he's ready. So let's move the horse out the way a little bit. There you go. A little bit further. There you go. And then as part of moving the yard out, I put a pad down and increased our garden space, because with this many animals, we're running through vegetables like crazy. So I've got all the things that you would want growing. Potatoes, and carrots, and wheat, mushrooms. I've got corn, tomatoes. We'll add on to this as need be as well. I have to get some more sulfur, make some more crop plots. And then we have to keep this thing full. Which I think it's probably time for us to have another one out here. So I think I'll go do that. I'll make another one and put it over here for the baby. Okay, so we've got another food trough and a water trough down here. I think the last patch they must have updated the food trough, because this one only has 4 slots, and this one actually has, what, 7 slots for food here? So I think that was an update on this last patch. And as such, I've been, this amount of food we're going to need to keep up with these animals. So we'll probably add more of that as well. Plus I've got a vegetable fridge now, or vegetable ice box. And I'm keeping all my veggies in there. Mushrooms and all of that. And then on top of that, I've got an ice box just for the ice that I got back from the other base as well. So that's where we're at. Alright, so our buffalo is all grown up. And we can name it something. I think I'm going to call it Bruiser. I don't know why that just popped into my head. So now we have Bruiser. And if we look at Bruiser, let's take the saddle off this moa. And we go in here. We can put a saddle on Bruiser. And we can ride Bruiser if we want, right? And you'll notice, let's go over here real quick. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slots for weight. And let's see what his riding is like. He's about as fast as the horse. Honestly. Not bad. The horse could use a buff on speed, I think. But it's not terrible. But the buffalo strength comes not in being able to ride him. The buffalo strength comes in a different thing. So we're going to take that saddle off our buffalo. I'm going to tell him to stay. And we'll put the saddle back on this guy. And early on I crafted this thinking I could use it on the blueback, but you cannot. Because the blueback isn't implemented yet, which why they give that to you as a pet in a quest when he's not implemented yet seems silly, but hey, whatever. Eventually these things will probably be able to take the buffalo cart too, I'm guessing. But the buffalo cart is another thing you can unlock. And so if we... let's have the buffalo follow us so we can get him turned around real quick. We'll just bring him out here. Okay. And then we can put this on the buffalo. And the buffalo now has a cart. And if you take a look, that is a lot of space. A lot of hauling. He can haul 1,300 kilograms. So we could break this whole base down almost, it seems like, and drag him with us. And so, like, if we were going to go out and collect a ton of wood, what I could do is I could get on my fast creature here. We could say, come on, buffalo. Buffalo's on follow. Open the gates. Have the old buffalo come out. And now we can head up here and chop a ton of wood. And bring a ton of wood back at once. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. Alright. Tell him to stay. And take all this wood. So much wood. That's how you refill your stocks. A little crowded in here. I kind of want to build a barn for these guys out here in the yard, maybe over on this side. But once we get out from underneath this, we've got to deal with storm damage until we look at concrete building. So if we build a concrete building, I don't believe it takes storm damage. So I think I'm going to unlock steel barred building trim set. That's kind of nice too. I think I'm going to unlock this concrete building set, and I'm going to unlock the other pieces that go with it, and maybe even the steel barred. I kind of like the way that looks. And then I think what I'm going to do is go out and just collect a ton of materials. I think we have everything we need. We've got the concrete furnace, we've got concrete mixer, we've got the forge. Yeah, we've got a lot of this stuff, so I'm going to just go collect a ton of materials. I'm going to probably push my character up on levels while I do that. I want to fill the boxes with everything that we need. And then I'm going to start whipping up a concrete barn out here that we can store the animals in. I think that's what the next thing for this game is. Another thing we should do is go ahead and get us a few things from the shop now that we've got a few coin. If we go request equipment, just like we did when we bought the seeds, we can actually come in here and buy other things. A lot of this is, you know, not bad. There's some stuff later on here that'll be good once, you know, we've got a lot of other exotics, like the red exotics that started in this thing that we don't have yet. We'll have to figure out how to get those. But you can, like, you can really start to buy some things. Like there's 60 felling damage, and you get 130% yield on that. But really, the thing that I'm interested in right now are the Enviro suits. And Enviro suits, you know, we're wearing one right now. I think the basic Enviro suit. There's some better ones in here that would make life for us better. So you can get these that have oxygen and water slots on them, for example, and then you can put your oxygen skin and your water skin in those slots, and it automatically feeds you that information, or feeds you those resources as you need them. So that's something that we want to look at. Another thing that we can maybe get are, some of these have module slots in them. See, like that says 2 module slots right there, and it lowers your perceived threat when you're stealth. That might be something we look at. So that would cost us, what, $350 total to make, and it give us an oxygen slot, a water slot, and perceived threat. This one down here gives you water, oxygen, and food. I thought one of these was food. Was it you? Which one of you gave the food slot? That one gave a food slot, but I think we're gonna aim for one of these instead. I'm kind of looking at what the others are here while we're in here. Suit inventory slots, suit module slots. The modules, by the way, are these, and they're things like 10% movement speed, or 50% fire resist, 3 inventory slots, poison resist, more inventory slots. I think all these on the bottom are inventory slots. There's 15% weight capacity. So these are good to have. You know what I mean? Like oxygen consumption, food consumption, water consumption. Depending on where you're going, these might be worth having. Healing boost. Nearby allies have a quicker healing from bacterial infection, parasitic infection, blah, blah, blah. Some of these not so great for us because they're for multiplayer, like all these that say nearby allies. But, you know, there's some cool stuff in there. So I think we're going to go ahead and pick up an Enviro suit. And because I did say I wasn't going to buy anything that my other character had unlocked, these are already unlocked from the other, we're going to go ahead and pick this one up that has the 2 module slots, the oxygen slot, the water slot, and the -5 perceived threat. I think we'll take that one. Do we want the perceived threat, or do we want the physical resistance? Oh, I don't know. Let's take that one. We're going to see if we can get that one. So I think we have to unlock this one to get there. So if we research that, that unlocks the way to this one. And then we can do that. Uh-oh, we got bad guys. Had bad guys. Something was trying to get in. And it died on the spikes. So spikes did their job. Alright, so back here, we've unlocked this now. We've spent a good amount of our money to get there. But I'm going to go ahead and pay the 100 to craft one. Alright, and then we can request that be sent down to us. So send me my Fermi Enviro suit. You know what? Actually, I think to change Enviro suit, this is one of those situations where we have to go back to the ship to do that. So I'm going to unload everything here real quick, and then we'll run up to the ship to get it. Alright, we've stripped down to nothing. We have nothing. So we're going to take just some cooked meat back with us, because I'm kind of curious to test if that is still a thing since the update. From what I understand, you had to leave everything in your open world, because anything in the open world that you tried to take back did not come back. So where is my pod? I think my pod's over this way. It's right there. So we'll try to go back. Equipment you can bring back with you, but I think the Enviro suit's the one thing that's like permanently attached to your character. So like even if you die, you still have that Enviro suit on. So we're going to try and take that back up and change the suit and come back. So we'll see what happens with this. We'll put this in the dropship inventory. Let's return to station. All non-workshop items you're carrying, you can return, but start with a fresh inventory and dropship. Yes. So I think we'll lose that meat. So I think we were right to leave everything else behind. Okay, so now we're back here, and from here we could actually take that character if we wanted to, and we could, if we wanted to, jump into mission mode and start doing missions. But that's not why we're here. We want to go back down to our open world. This Red's YouTube world, I believe. And no time restriction, no rewards available. We want to join that prospect. And we're going to take this as our Envirosuit, this one that we just bought. We'll confirm that loadout. It's a private game. And we should come back down to the same world that we were just in. All right, we're back. And it put us, yeah, pretty close to home. Same place, actually. I think this might even be a little closer. Maybe. But it is night, so we gotta watch it. There could be Drax out here. So let's run back to the house real quick. Very dark. Without my torch, it's very dark. But we're home now. And all our stuff is still here. So we could take all there. And it'll put our, it should put our good stuff on. I've got a couple pieces here because I ran out of space. These guys here. Right? Okay, so now that we have an Envirosuit that has oxygen and a water slot, we can actually take our water canister, put it there. And we can take our oxygen canister and put it there. And it will feed us as need be. So we just got to refill them and drop them back into that spot. And that actually saves room in our inventory too. So we won't have to worry about that all the time. So that's pretty nice. Time to do some more mining so we can get some more iron. I've come to this spot right here, it looks like. I was going around to look around at this is this big cliff thing that's near my base, and I saw this. And this would be definitely a cave, so we're gonna dig in here and see what we find. We brought our horse and our buffalo so we can carry as much back as we can. So in we go. Okay, the passageway is open. I am going to leave these guys here while I clean out the worms, and then I'll bring them in to keep them out of danger. Where are you at, worms? One. We have here copper. There's another copper site. Just the one worm? That seems unusual. Okay, I'm gonna bring the guys in and clean this place out, I guess. Okay, that's this place cleaned out. This is the stone we got opening the door. Looks like we got a whole bunch of stacks of iron ore, some copper, some aluminum. We got a ton of frozen ore. So we'll have to heat that to see what it is. I'm not sure if it just puts everything together as frozen ore or if it changes. I guess we'll find out. Let's take this guy, take our horse, come on out of here. Obviously we got pneumonia while we were in there, but I took meds for it, so I'm on the mend. Let's head back to our cave and we'll see what's up. Okay, now that we're back, we're gonna start with all of these frozen ores and see what we get out of those. There's gold, there's scoria, there's silica. I didn't actually super cooled ice, apparently. So you can get, it seems like you can get just about anything out of frozen ore, because none of this stuff I actually, maybe a little aluminum and copper and some iron, but none of this stuff I really mined. So this seems like you get this as a bonus, and then you can just come bring it back, and that's really nice because we're gonna end up getting stuff we didn't have. So that's pretty cool. Though it looks like a Pokemon. Okay, so when all was said and done, and all of that frozen ore was thawed out, we've got all of this stuff here. We've got all of this stuff here. I've got a thing full of ore here. And I've already been transferring some of the different things that we got out of the frozen ore up into here. So we've got a ton of obsidian, coal, oxite, super cooled ice. You name it, that pickaxe, the cold steel pickaxe, is the way to go when you're farming ore. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, having the buffalo is fantastic. I recommend. Look at this. Look at all the stone I've collected on this one trip. Now, of course, that much stone puts him close to being over, so you have to stop there, but you really can just collect all the things really fast with the buffalo. So, highly recommend. Alright, so, got some concrete stuff made now. That is made in the concrete mixer, by the way. Here, you need steel rebar, steel screws, and concrete mix. The steel things you just make out of steel over on the machining bench. So you can see I've got a bunch of extra in here now with just steel ingots. And then what we're gonna do is I actually use stone for the foundations because I wanted to save on the more expensive parts, because once these have roofs over them, they'll be protected from storms anyways. So we have to figure out like what the direction of this is gonna be. And I was thinking right along here maybe. I wanted to do a 2x4, so let's put this in right here. We'll see how this looks. This might be the spot here. If we had railings between them, I suppose that might not be too bad. That might be doable. And then I could put their food and water troughs at the end of each one here. And then what I was thinking I would do is I would do on the corners here. I'm going to do the concrete pillars like this, and then maybe put walls here, concrete walls on the edge. So not give me a lot of room to move there, does it? Like that maybe. And then we have half walls that we can do. These are actually, yeah, these are half pitches. Oh, wow, look at that. That's got like metal. And we could do these like up here. And then fill that in maybe at the top with just some concrete flats there. And then some railings between them. So yeah, I'm going to make a few more of those and throw it together, and then I'll bring it back afterwards and we'll see how it looks. So I've moved it from this wall to over here in front of the little river here so I could walk behind this and feed them. One thing I'm noticing is that these wood railings, they don't snap onto the stone stuff, so I'm having to manually place them, which is kind of disappointing. But what I'm doing is I'm putting gates in front of each entrance like that, and then I'm deploying these just behind them on these lines here like that to give me stalls for each of these guys, which I think they can go right over these if they want to run over them, but this way it at least looks like something. I'm not sure about these. The half walls and half ramps in this game are kind of iffy at best, so I'm probably going to just remove those. We'll probably just pull those out and do something else with those later. I'll probably find another solution here. But then this way I can start moving the guys into here, I think. And then I did 4 more of these because I felt like that felt weird. Yeah, that's right. Get killed, Drac. I felt like that felt weird without being snapped all the way in like that. These pillars I used for the corners. So, there. That's a little better, I think. And I'll figure out what I'm going to do up here, and then I'll bring the animals in. Okay, so I went with that shape there. Just full walls. The half walls are kind of funky, like I said, so I decided to keep it simple. We've got stone stairs in front. We've got the half concrete walls with a window, so we kind of have that look there. And we're going to add one more thing here, I decided, and that's if we take some foundation, some frame, and we deploy that like we were going to snap that on here, we're going to do the half frame. And then we're going to put those like this, sticking off here. And this will give me the ability to come up here and kind of water and feed the animals without having to get in front of them. And they don't look too bad. One thing I've noticed in here is the seed animal feed. And that says 100 food when consumed. Provides animal feed modifier for 900 seconds. I think this might be a good buffs animal stamina and recovery. This might be a good way to start feeding them. And that needs wheat and seeds. And as we're going, we're getting a whole lot of both, right? So I've got like stacks of those, and then of course with all of this fiber seed, there's just stacks of that. So I think I might produce as much of that as I can with these 2 stacks of wheat that we've got, and let's max that out. I guess that's only 40. It uses 5 wheat each, and we'll put this in their food troughs and see how long that lasts. There we go. The barn is complete. You can see I set it up with the normal walls here. Full walls, because the half walls, kind of like I was saying, get a little funky. And inside I went with interior half walls to keep them in their pens, because even though they're all eating the same animal feed, for some reason they will try to cross the area and eat from each other's troughs, so this kept them in their own individual stalls at least. Still got the gate on the front, but that way we've got a nice safe place for each of our animals to be. And now we've got a home for our animals. There we have it.